Hi, my name is MYARAB, and I'm going to be talking to you today about e-waste. Alright, so what is e-waste? E-waste is all things designed for the dump. We're talking cell phones, televisions, computers, charging cables, DVD players, you name it. If it has a short life, you're going to toss it soon, get a new one, just replace it. That's going to be e-waste. So what makes e-waste so wasteful? E-waste, like I said, is going to be part of that unsustainable materials economy, which means that things are hard to upgrade, easy to break, and impractical repair. Getting a new one costs less than repairing the old one, which means that technology goes through this 18-month cycle. Basically, we purchase it, it goes through usage for 18 months, we toss it, we get a new one, and the rest of their lives, what happens to them? They actually are releasing harmful chemicals in all stages of their life. Recycling versus waste distribution. So when we toss things, we're told, hey, we need to recycle this instead of just letting it sit in the landfill. We need to recycle our technology. But what happens when we are recycling these items? Believe it or not, they're shipped. And out of all e-waste, about 80% is likely to end up shipped out to Asian destinations. And once exported, the people who are recycling them, often even the companies like Goodwill, are not even sure what happens to them. And the reason for doing this is the profit margin for exporting. There is just it's cheaper. It's cheaper to just outsource the technology to somebody else than to deal with it on our soil. And by cutting the costs, somebody always ends up paying. And it ends up being the workers who pay, which I'll talk to you more about later. But things are broken down into these components, materials, in these other countries, and they are steel, aluminum, copper, plastic, and gold. And it's better than the landfill, right? That's what we're taught. So what's the big deal? Who and what is outsourcing affecting? Well, this outsourcing is affecting the poor and suffering countries. So we're talking third world countries. We're talking all of those people who are just poorer than the rich countries. Rich countries are taking this problem, they're giving it to the poor people, and they're saying, fix it. And in reality, companies should be responsible for this. They are cutting costs, and these workers are paying with their livelihood because of it. The workforce. So what's happening to these workers? What's happening to the people who are melting the plastics? What's happening to the people who are using acid to break it down? What's happening to the people who are using all kinds of heat to take metal off motherboards, to get copper out of wires? Well, getting toner out of printers can give you black lung, and getting mercury out of tubes, that can give you poisoning. They're getting all kinds of toxic things into their body, and working in third world countries where electronics are outsourced is labor intensive and primitive. They're just doing what they can to survive, getting about $1 an hour, and that's what they have to do. But both the process and the product are harmful to the workers, so regardless of what they do, they're going to be hurt. And that's just the sad truth of it. So the environment, not only are these workers getting black lung, not only are these workers getting it in their skin, on their hands, their hair, their clothes, but they're also taking it home with them. When they dump the acid after working, they're getting that acid into the water. When they use all those plastic parts, they're getting into the soil. And the e-waste pollutants make up so much, and they make the well water and surface water undrinkable in many developing countries. In places like this, the soil levels of lead concentrations can be more than 200 times what the Dutch government considers to be hazardous. And river water in places like China can be as bad as 2,400 times the World Health Organization's threshold for lead in drinking water. It's just outrageous. It's simply unacceptable. Families are eating here, they're drinking here, they're planting their food in the soil, and they can't live like this. You can't catch fish and then eat mercury fish. You're not going to be okay. Your children are not going to be okay. So taking accountability. Basically what we've done is we've taken the Basel Convention, which was created to limit the free trade of waste production to the undeveloped nations, and we're trying to enforce that. However, the US has opposed the ban on outsourcing for a long time. They are contributing to the problem. The US is preventing dumping on its soil, but in return it outsources it. So by saying, we don't want to deal with this e-waste on our soil, we're going to make it your problem, they're really just contributing to the issue by actively promoting the wholesale exporting of materials. They're terrible for that. And manufacturers should be responsible for the wholesale lifestyle of their products. It doesn't matter if you just want to get it out to the consumer. You should be responsible for the whole life cycle, not just getting it in somebody else's hands. It should be your responsibility. So we just need to be working on that. All right, and what we can do. So as a community, what we can do is to pass laws to hold companies accountable. We need to be active members in our community. We need to be seeking out this. We need to be looking, hey, how can I help? How can I move this along the totem pole? How can I work forward for this? And not only can we do that, but we can also purchase from green companies, even if it costs a little extra. So it might cost a little bit more to look into something that you can replace with parts instead of just, you know what, a new DVD player is $30. Getting this DVD player fixed cost me $50. I just don't want to spend the $50. Well, if we can get something that just has replaceable parts that are cheap, then we can solve that problem. And we won't have to spend the extra $39. We can spend the $12 on the new part instead. And what you can also do is be conscious of your habits and technology usage. So that is maybe not buying the next iPhone every single time a new one comes out, because your phone might not even be broken. You just kind of want the new one because it's new. So just waiting until things are not working, or just waiting a little bit longer to purchase things, and really think about how your actions are impacting the community can be super helpful. Thank you so much.